So weird. Alright. Computer freaked out and killed every stream. That sucks. Okay. So let's see here. What happened? Where are we right now? So trying to match argument list for these guys and failing. Let me see. So overload member function not found. These guys are all still string views when they have to be strings now, right? I think that's what's happening here. Because we're going back to strings, because that's essentially what we have to do. I'm adjusting all of these now for that. Standard string underscore view. Space. Const standard string ref. Like so. And I missed one. But yes, back to this, as it should be. And then run underscore towards as an example. Should now be defined appropriately. Let's see. Define strategy, so this is now string again. And then we have these config functions or macros, which are supposed to be const standard string now, so that should be good, right? I would hope. Declaration isn't compatible still. Oh, should be const standard string ref. Okay. And we should be good now. Alright. Let's do another build. Oh, there's a landed. Function definition for landed not found. That's that right there. I don't know why it says it's not found. I think it's just being silly. So the good news is I'm seeing warnings. Less error-related stuff, so that's always nice. Hey is an ambiguous... Okay. So we're getting other errors that are more related to just fixing up like a couple of headers in the wrong place, maybe like a small typo. So this is all good things. Good things in the sense of we're almost fixed up. It looks like I just missed boar completely. So that's hilarious. This should be define strategy. Or what is it called? Define underscore strategy. For and then end underscore strategy. Okay. Key, a ambiguous symbol. So for this, we're gonna say thinks that's attribute, so using a equals OLC A. Constant OCA is not a type name? What? Oh, enum. Wait, enum? It's an enum, right? Yeah, they are enums, so does that not can we unusing something? Unusing? Or I guess we have to say, like, generally I would assume if we specify, like, okay, it's OC key A, right? That would work. Like, that's what I assumed would replace it with the new one. But constant OCA is not a type name. Unless it just outright doesn't know what this is, which is unlikely. Well, this would definitely define OLC Pixel Game Engine, so that should be a thing. Can I just undef A? I don't think that's a thing, because I think that's macro related. Okay, well, in that case, we'll just do it directly. To be consistent, though, I might as well do it for all of these, right? Just to be consistent, since we're already in here. Oh goodness, there are so many. I can see here I've already done it for a couple of them, so might as well do it for the rest. And it will look like that. It'll probably complain like this for Linux too, so I might as well have fixed that now anyway. Okay, cannot convert from initializer list to strategy function. Let me see. Okay, so it's saying it's trying to convert to string views, so this still says they're supposed to be string views. Okay, fix that. That should be fine now. These are still weird. Okay, yeah, they should accept copies, or not accept copies, but accept references to strings. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Place them with const ref strings. Hopefully we're getting closer to a finally built product and no more string view shenanigans, right? That's really what we want, is no more silly string views, please. Term does not evaluate to a function taking 3 arguments. Oh, it looks like our find and replace missed one. Oh, that's cool. It looks like our enum thing actually does catch in errors. It's just we had so many errors before this wasn't popping up. But yes, you would do m.run strategy hawk. Although, let me see here. You run major hawk. Wait a second. Hold on. Is that right? Use normal hawk behaviors when there are too many major hawks. Otherwise use major hawk behavior. Wait, that's interesting. We're actually passing in a custom set of behaviors. This is like next level. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Okay. So the way this works is it's supposed to be a quirk of my configuration system where I provide a separate configuration on top of the default override configuration. It's kind of confusing to explain, so maybe it's better to just show. In monsters.txt for the major hawk, it has a hawk. It uses the major hawk strategy, and the major hawk strategy has a couple of overrides here. However, these are for the major hawk, and they actually override the same names of properties as the normal hawk. So if I go looking for just hawk, you can see here the hawk strategy also uses, well, actually I have to go to the strategies file. Right here. The hawk strategy file uses its own overrides. So the way we did it is it will behave like a normal hawk until a certain threshold, and then it will begin using these variables instead. So the way we did it, we kind of like hacked it together based on how the system used to work. So I'm kind of running into this issue where this behavior only existed because of a quirk in our old system. So I may just have to go ahead and fix that now, because where is this run strategy call? I can't even find it. Hold on. Oh yeah, it doesn't exist. I must have deleted it by accident. Something's wrong. That's probably where we are, is I made the change and then I deleted it by accident. Monster.h should have run strategy. It looks like it's just not, or I must have deleted it by accident, but all this should be in there. Let me look at monster.h. And okay, it is there, just unimplemented. So monster.cpp. I must have not copy pasted it. Yeah. Not realizing it was at the bottom, so it wouldn't have been copied in the first place. There it is. So we have two options here. We either provide an optional parameter that uses that name as the strategy name instead, which will get the correct config values, or we just change it to actually reference different variables. I kind of like this idea where we can specify a custom set of strategies. Maybe just as an override, right? So run strategy with the default of run the current strategy, but maybe the ability to specify another one via a string. I don't know, sounds kind of jank. I think we should fix the janky monster AI instead. I like that better, because it's basically breaking all the rules I established when it came to, oh, run a strategy via this exact thing. Like, it should be doing this on its own, no matter what. So the way we do this is in the AI, we actually write the correct strategy we want. So if major hawk count is less than or equal to the aggressive hawk count, run aggressive properties, right? Otherwise, run the hawk strategy normally. I guess my issue was I didn't want to copy paste the code again. So maybe I just wanted to reference it with different variables. But I guess then we would just write that in the hawk run strategy itself. Assuming there were major hawks to begin with. So I don't know. That is a little complicated. Maybe we will just bite and say, hey, copy the hawk strategy with different variables. I think that's very fair. I'm more okay with that. So we copy this in, and we can define some kind of name that will be used for these. So instead of all this, let's just say config float. Are these all config floats? Yeah, it looks like everything is just config float, so let's replace it with aggressive in front of all of these. There we go. I think that works. That way it's just using those variables when the major hawk count goes down. So then in the major hawk strategy, we can just change every single one of these to be aggressive. Assuming they're all required, which they should be if they exist in the first place, like aggressive hawk count. I don't actually see that. Aggressive hawk count. Aggressive. Gosh, I can't spell hawk. Yeah, it's not in here, so... Where is it? Oh, it's in strategy, duh. Wait a second. Yeah, major hawk count, aggressive hawk count is... That's mid-phase, when attack. I guess final attack is what we're looking for? It just says aggressive hawk count, period. Zephy, major hawk, there it is. Aggressive name check, aggressive hawk count, light charge cooldown. So with that in mind, all these come from there as well. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. I'm just trying to think. So if we supply them from that and they don't exist, what does it refer to next? It's like, did I change all these specifically? Aggressive flight oscillation amount? See, like that isn't... Oh, it is in there. So that's in there. Aggressive flight height's in there. Height variance. Flight speed variance. Flight height variance. Flight charge cooldown. So yeah, it looks like I copy-pasted all of these. I don't see the flight charge cooldown, so I must have not copy-pasted that. Also, what's up with this window not having a background anymore? That's funny. Something happened there. It probably happened over here too, because I'm like, yeah, we just lost a bunch of window stuff. So that's cool. That should be fine. Okay. But yeah, I don't see every property here, so that's telling me I didn't quite do this right, or I'm not... Okay. Let me just go to the Hawk AI. And see what I'm missing. So, wing flap frequency. Let me move this over there so I'm not looking across windows. Flight height variance, speed variance, distance, oscillation amount, attack Z speed, attack wait time. So it looks like I just deleted the flight charge cooldown by accident. But yeah, that should be in there too, to override every single one. And we could even make it less. It can make it like 6 seconds or something. But it should be a lot less. I actually don't really see what the difference is either. I'm looking at this and I'm like, what is the difference? Like the flight charge cooldown? Yeah, I'm not understanding. Flight charge cooldown. Oh, I see. 3 seconds. Then why do I not... Okay. So I see what I did. I should have put the 3 seconds overwritten in here, or make it the same. I guess I should make it the same if it's aggressive. Like, even faster, right? I guess so. That should work. But what happens when this variable doesn't exist, right? It's like, okay. The aggressive hawk count. Major hawk count is less than or equal to aggressive hawk count, which I guess is just 1. Because I put 1 here. Number of major hawks on the field to start using aggressive tactics. It's like, okay, well, if not, it's just using regular hawk strategy. Why do I have this variable in 2 places? I don't think I need to have it in 2 places. I think I'm just confusing myself, but that's the fix, is to prevent it from... Basically, I wrote a hack earlier to make that major hawk strategy work that way. So that should fix itself. Alright, so where are we with the build? So now, no overload function could convert all argument types of monster strategy, comma, int. So it's doing this again. Where it can't convert these to the type it needs to. It's almost like it doesn't know what the type is here, which is interesting to me. Monster strategy and strategy function are enum and, well, this class. Like, unless I don't understand why that can't work. So no overload function can convert all the argument types, monster strategy. Key or pair, monster strategy, comma, int. Trying to match the initializer list of safe map.h line 164. That would be this right here. Oh, this is the... Didn't I change that? I think I deleted it by accident. But yeah, I can try it again. it should be standard pair T comma O. And IntelliSense doesn't like that, but let me see. But that's what it should be, to insert it into the maps insert function. Strategy function. T would be monster strategy here. Does that fix it? Looks like so far so good. Should be the same thing as without the standard pair. It's just saying, well, it's complaining that it's trying to match an argument list with a const monster strategy int. I think it's found like another match for that pair. So it thinks it's that for whatever reason. So I'm being explicit with it to see if that helps. Kind of like hint, hey, this is what you're actually supposed to be. Okay, this doesn't exist anymore. But I can replace it with, our new one. This should be monster strategies. Although I don't think it's accessible from here, is it? But it should be called monster strategies. Yeah, it's just inaccessible. Templates are weird. Templates are always weird. I don't understand them, so they're weird. So this is private. And we're currently in the monster data class. I don't mind friending it. I think it's a good use case. Because monster data is closely related to it, so I think accessing is okay. I don't really want to expose it though, because there's no need to. Strategy name is a const standard string ref. What? This is a... Oh. This needs to be an enum, so how do we do this? I guess we would iterate through these and just find it ourselves. So we can say for we're just looking for one. So if it doesn't exist, then how would I do this? I'm basically looking for the if it doesn't exist, right? So filtering out anything that does have it instead of not. I don't know how I would describe that. It's like I'm trying to see if the list does not contain a value. Something in the ranges library that would do that for me easily, maybe? Let me see, where... What am I looking for? I need to go... This isn't... Is it... Okay, here's filter view, transform view, take view. A view consisting of the initial elements of another view until the first element on which a predicate returns false. Includes all elements of a range, elements of some other range. Counted, split. Elements as cons to reverse enumerate values. Adjacent transform, chunk by. Nothing here seems to do what I need to do. So maybe we'll just use like an algorithm instead. Like find if not. None of. Checks if a predicate is true for all, any, or none. So that might be what we want. None of. Checks if unary predicate returns false for at least one element. Or 5. Checks if unary predicate returns true for none of the elements in the range, first to last. So I would say none of. Okay. And now check if it returns true for none of the elements. So basically we're gonna do for monster strategies. We're basically doing a filter view and seeing if because it says checks if, so we can do like, I think we just do if, right? Monster strategies. None of. I think I have to do this differently though. None of is from standard ranges. Let me do that. Or let me try that. Standard ranges none of. Provided a range predicate. And it returns... What does it return? It just returns a bool. Okay, I guess that's easy. So the predicate here is... This will be a standard pair of monster strategy. Monster strategy? I forgot we're not in that class, so... Monster strategy, comma... monster strategy function. Reference, pair, and we're looking up whether or not so we're seeing if strategy name here is equal to the first value in the pair, because that's the string. And we have to pass in strategy name. Okay. What is this? Oh, this, wait. Pair dot first should be the monster strategy. No, so we need pair dot second dot first. I think. Pair dot second dot name. Okay. Close that out. So this is supposed to be a range. I don't... So it doesn't think safe unordered map is... like, I have to get the internal map, I think. Because this isn't the range itself. Although I thought I made something for this, like a range. I guess I can get the beginning and end and construct a range out of this. Like standard ranges. Yeah, I feel like I have to construct a range because this thing doesn't have or come with one. Because normally a standard map, right, has the ranges in it already. It's built as a, well, these. So I could access it directly to get that. Maybe I should just do that, and probably that will save me some time to build it that way. Because I would try to like to use the ranges library more. I think that would be nice. But unfortunately, this safe unordered map doesn't have that for me. This is why what I should have done was actually inherited the map class when I made this. But I wasn't really thinking, I just kind of made it on the whim. So maybe providing that map directly would be nice. I'm thinking about it. Like, provide the raw map. So in this case, it would be standard map. I guess I can just auto it. Map. And return map. Just like that. I think that would be pretty harmless and gives us an easy way to at least access it for a situation like this where we need it. Are you inaccessible? You shouldn't be. What? Oh, I named the function... Wait. I named the function the same as the actual member, so it thinks I'm trying to access the member? Is that really how that works? I feel like that's not how that works. But I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Well, it still doesn't like it. Oh. Yeah. So argument types are standard unordered map, and a standard equal to with a lambda. Object type is const standard ranges none of function. Yeah. Let me see what the template error says. That'll probably be more helpful here. Am I missing something else for none of? I don't think I am. None of... with the projection. Standard ranges... none of. V. In this case, V is just some... view or range. But they... God, they did a standard bind to this function, which makes it nigh unreadable, but that's funny. I think it would be cool to use it, but it doesn't seem like it wants to work. But this is simple enough to use too if we need to. We can just do... no matching call operator found. Okay. Could be bool standard range is none of. Iterator, or it could be this. Really? Expects 4 arguments to provided from algorithm, or monster data initialize monster data standard pair evaluate to false? Why would it do that? Oh wait, that's inside of there. Const int. Wait, does it not know? This is so confusing. Okay. I'm in template hell right now. Let's just try standard none of then, because it seems like I can't get it to recognize this range, which is funny. So in this case, I would do begin and end. And then the true and false. I love trying to use these, but sometimes they just don't work out. So we'll just use standard none of then. I guess I need to understand ranges more to really understand what's going on with the ranges stuff, because it is very confusing. Make it const? Sure. Let me see. We'll just try it. Nothing changes for IntelliSense. Oh, the key type. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think that's doing it. Is it complaining about the same thing? Kind of. Yeah, it's not really giving, that's for sure. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, trying to use the ranges, it's very complex. There's some internal understanding that I don't have to be using these well. Someday we'll get more understanding of these. Learning how to C++ is very much a learning process in and of itself. Okay, so we'll just use the non-range version, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I just thought it would be fun to try something new. Same here, stuck on 14. Yeah! I would say the stuff from 17 was kind of cool, but getting to 20 is a big leap. There's so much in there. Okay, what else do we have to fix, if anything? Yeah, when it comes to like the metaprogramming stuff, that is all just, it just goes over my head right now. There is so much to learn there and so many weird quirks about it. I guess I'm removing this map function. I really don't want to expose the raw map if I don't have to, because that ruins the point of the class to begin with. And that was a quick fail. What happened? It's doing it again. Okay. I will be right back while waiting for this. Alright, what is left? Surely we're almost done, right? Okay, cannot convert all argument types for safe map. I think we've run into this before. Trying to match argument list standard pair TO with monster strategy function. Could be any of these. Oh, I see. It looks like the constness is changing in these. So that's interesting. And that's coming from trying to call just like plain old this one. Which is like... It's just strange to me that it does that in the first place. I wonder what happens if I just supply the pair directly like it wants me to. If I just... I wonder if I can just auto these. Can I just auto everything? I wonder how that will resolve. I feel like every time I run into these like template things, I just end up autoing everything every single time. Well, so far it's not being terrible. Oh. I think it's done it. Let me see. It's done it again. Yeah. So... I guess... worst case scenario, I just call the insert function directly. Like, at this point, this isn't working on its own, so I may be forced to do that. Oh no. That's weird. It's like, what is insert anyways, but doing this, right? Like, shouldn't this work too? Essentially? I mean, the insert itself is supposed to have, like, extra return values in it, but who's to say I can't just make up my own like this, right? Like, essentially that is the same thing, but I won't have to call the insert function and pass it around. Or maybe this will reveal something more. Who knows? It's like somehow one of these things will work. Oh, also, maybe we should just call this operator, because essentially it's doing the exact same thing. Like, insert is literally doing this. And so I wanted to have all these checks too, because that's the whole point of the safe map. Right arm 1, thanks for the follow. Welcome. It's like where to proceed with this template. Okay. So the good news is it made that disappear, so I guess that's a good start. But it says now equals cannot convert from O to int. So this is telling me, like, if it keeps thinking it's an int, right? It's like, why does it keep thinking it's an int? That to me is strange. Like, either... Oh, wait. What is going... Wait, is this a typo? Wait, has this been here the whole time? Am I an idiot? Oh, shoot. Wait, is this why my unordered map has not been working this whole time? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. How long has that been there? That's been there this whole time, hasn't it? I'm mad. I get to be mad. That's actually stupid. Okay, can I try, this now? I'm actually mad. So just pass in key? How do I pass in the first value, though? The object itself. How do I pass in the right-hand side? Can I pass in the right-hand side? I don't think I can. I think it just assumes whatever's in there was... I'm mad. That's actually stupid. I think I have to write it myself, which... Okay, fine. Fair. Oh wait. I know why this is the way it is. The map stores a list of the indices into this vector. I think this was done on purpose to order them, but then why am I using an unordered map, right? Has this ever worked? I'm confused now. That's what all this does, is it maps the item to the key, and then yeah. So the insert function doesn't insert into the map, it just puts it into items if it doesn't, basically this. So yeah, this is C++. Also, hello, hello. Welcome. Yeah, no, I think I just... Can I even do this? Let me see. Like, is this even a thing? I don't think so. It would be like, you have to like dereference it. And then maybe you can do this. Alright, key. Right? Okay, so that would work. Funny enough. Which looks wacky, but it would work. To essentially do the exact same thing. But essentially, I wanted to have the same behavior as if we used the array operator. So I think that will accomplish that too. So this is intentional, and maybe I'll write a comment there that says it is, because, well, let me look at this. A class that has an initialization lock, blah blah blah. This unordered map should return items inserted in order. Therefore, internally it's hosted as a vector. As such, if an item is added to this map, it's possible the reference becomes stale when another item is added due to a vector expanding. Why does this structure exist? Why would this ever be useful? Why would I not just use an ordered map? I guess order of insertion is what I was going for with this, but I don't understand why I would use it. Why are you building it? That's what I'm asking right now. And technically this has always been here, I'm just not sure why I would ever use it. Because I was just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna use an unordered map. Well, the initial idea of these safe maps is that I can lock them, so I can still use the array operator. But when they're locked, they're read only. So if I ever overwrite them, they die. Or it crashes, essentially. Like every time you add a key, it double checks if the size has increased. And if it's increased, we know we added a value from that, so it crashes. I essentially just called it a safe map, and I guess unordered map is supposed to do that too, but apparently it's still ordered, which is confusing. But the safe map.h error is gone. Run strategy is not an identifier that is found though, which, yeah, this is old, so now we call m.run strategy, or in this case I think it's just, we're in monster right now, so it's just run strategy with the original strategy name. Oh, it wouldn't be the strategy name though, it would be the enum for the strategy that matches name-wise, which we already solved. Let me go grab that real quick, because I don't want to rewrite that. That took a minute. So it should be in... we're basically still in the process of restoring some old code that we messed up earlier when we did string view stuff, so I'm just bringing it all back. So here is this. Wait, is that right? No. It's just run... Wait, is this a macro? What is this? Run underscore strategy. What is that? Because that doesn't exist, as far as I can tell. Yeah, what is this? I don't understand what this is. I don't remember rewriting that. Run underscore strategy. I think we put that as a placeholder and said we were going to rewrite it and haven't done it yet. I think that was the idea. So if we're just running a monster normally, then the strategy itself will be... let's see. So we're gonna have to search our map. This also runs every single time, so I'm not sure if we want to cache this or not. I don't think it matters too much, but it does run every frame, which is my only concern. So we could make like a reverse lookup of like this string runs or matches this enum at the very least. Can you share a bit about the architecture of your game? I think it depends on what systems you're interested in, but for the most part, it is very, like, standard. Most of the game is just run under a couple of different lists. So there are vectors for monsters in the game, there's vectors for bullets, effects, and all the map tiles are stored in vectors as well. So most of it is just rendered by looking them up inside those vectors. And yeah, there's nothing like fancy. There's no like ECS or anything. The fanciest thing I think I've done to the game in terms of structure-wise is we've used the C++20 ranges and range views, which allow us to just access all the data structures without having to make copies of them. So like if I have to filter for something, I don't have to like copy the resulting list into another list that's filtered. I just have these views, which is essentially just a bunch of references, like accesses into those lists. So there's nothing really super fancy. It's just there's a lot of systems. Like there's structures for items. So like the item structure is a little weird because it's like a multi-hash map where multiples of the same item can exist for equipment. So, and a lot of it is just stored with shared pointers or unique pointers, depending on if I need to share the pointers across multiple places or not. Yeah. That gives you a very broad idea of how everything is stored in the game on a surface level. All the stuff regarding the UI is also stored in some kind of shared pointer list too, because the UI, let me see if I can, I forget what it's called, render HUD? Yeah. The UI itself is kind of like a stack, so you like put one window on top of another window, and whichever window is on the top of the stack is the currently active window, that kind of thing. I don't know if render HUD is for the windows. I think it's for others. Oh, maybe it's down here. HUD overlay. No, that's for something else. This is for like the game UI, not the windows. Have you done anything with art or rendering visuals? Yes. I mean, for the most part, the game is more than halfway done, I guess. So, yeah. Plenty of things regarding graphics in here. I could probably show in a bit. We're just trying to get back to our compiled state from a large disarray of refactoring. So we're almost there. So you might actually be able to see that. Monster strategies. Okay, trying to get back on track here. So we want some kind of like reverse lookup structure here real quick. Let's put under monster as well. And all this will do is link our strings to monster strategies. Thank you. Yeah. So in here, and I don't mind talking about it too. I'm not in like any rush, but been chipping away at it, of course. It's a pretty large game and project at this point. So there's always a lot going on when trying to work on it. I'm gonna call this a string to strategies, strategy map or something. I think that's fine. every time we insert one of these, we need to map it to its respective strategy enum. So I think we're gonna draw out a macro here for this, just to make it easier. So it would look something like every time we insert one of these like this, we would also insert into the string to strategy map. So it would look something like this. That string links to that strategy holds that strategy function. I guess that would be one way to do it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I like that. Either that, or we can do a direct reference to this, which already exists. Either piece of data is worth storing, so it doesn't really matter. Add strategy. I think that's a good name for this macro. And we'll just throw it in here. It'll look like... So it's gonna have the enum, I don't think I can use enum, but we'll see. Enum, the name of the strategy, and the strategy function. So it looks something like that. It might allow me, actually. It looks like it's not completely freaking out about that, but we'll see. Name is gonna go here, and function goes here. So if we were to do run towards, it would look something like this. Okay, looks like it's freaking out now, so I guess now is a good time to... Oh, never mind. I just forgot that. So run towards. Name would be run towards. And the function is in monster strategy. Oops, not that strategy. Run underscore towards. And I would even go as far as to say that this and the enum name will always match. So we could even go one step further and just use the enum in substitution of this right here, and just have two arguments. Like that. And that seems to be okay, so we'll do that for all of these. So this is gonna be add underscore strategy. Provide those, and then the string. And that's pretty much that. Okay. So now we have a reverse lookup map. That is useful for... We go back to run strategy here. We have to supply the strategy itself. So we want to know, based on our current strategy name provided by this monster, what actual monster strategy enum we need to run. So that's what the lookup is for. So string to strategy map at get strategy name, and from there it'll do the rest. Either that, or I make it store the actual strategy and we can look up the strategy name from there. I think get strategy name is just kind of like an old carryover from what we did before, but at the same time it's still also immensely useful, so I'm gonna leave it for now. I'll just leave it. Okay. So let's go ahead and rebuild. And see what remains. I do see a IntelliSense error, though. What is this? Spawner list? What happened here? It's just undefined? I must have deleted it by accident. Or I deleted an include from somewhere else that depended on that include, and now I have to add it here. Include spawner list. That's fine. And we'll hope that this will actually compile. We'll finally be at a good point to call it, really. Because the next thing we'll be doing is going back to implementing those monster spells. Because there are a few left. I'm getting a lot of these local function definitions are illegal. This line contains a brace which has not yet been matched. Uh-oh. Well, that can't be good. What? Yeah, it looks like I deleted a curly brace at some point. Because this looks off. I either added a curly brace where I shouldn't have, which is most likely the case, or I deleted one where I wasn't supposed to. So this is... I don't even see where this matches. Hold on. There to here? Like, what changed? Did I just forget to put one at the end here? I did. Okay. That would explain that. Although, do I even need one? I think my intention was to just delete it. Yeah. That's probably what I meant to do. And then strategy data count doesn't exist here either, so we can do the same thing with the standard none of again. Essentially the exact same thing, copy pasted. Except its strategy for NPC name does not exist. And I have to capture that in. Okay. Slime King. Something with Slime King as well? Oh, looks like I just missed it too. Just some files that I ended up missing. So this is... define strategy. Slime King. Then end strategy down here. This thing is so old that I used magic numbers for the phases, which is absolutely hilarious. What is this? I don't know what my intention was here, but it looks very weird. It should be that. Okay. And like there's one more down here. It looks like it just used to be run strategy with that namespace, but that doesn't exist anymore. Cannot convert argument 1. Okay, let's see what's going on with that. Got a template error. So it can't convert const strategy function to a standard pair, so I must have mistyped that. This is supposed to be a safe unordered map with a .begin, which I provided. Oh, so it provides a vector. I forgot about this. So the vector that it provides just has all the items in it. So unlike the ordered map, the unordered map, my custom unordered map, just provides a vector with the items in it. So it's not even a pair, it's just the actual data. I'll just say data.name, and that should fix that. At least I'm hoping it does. No function named name. It should, because that's one of its members. Yeah. And then we have the other none of, which should be the same case. Should be standard. Oh, it won't be a vector, it'll just be this, right? It should just be that data. I think I included the vector still. That's probably why. Yeah, oops. That's my fault. Just that. Okay. Same thing. Cannot convert const strategy function to... Maybe it wants to be const, huh? Const. Okay. Data const is undeclared identifier. Oh. How'd you get there? Misclick. Okay, we got some unresolved externals. We're missing string to strategy map and monster strategies defined. Okay, so we have to initialize them now because they're static. So we'll just put them at the top right here. Oops. I want to get rid of this, not expand it, please. So these are monster data. Colon, or not monster data, monster. And then these are not defined. How are they not defined? They should be a monster.h, which it's included, should be. Oh, they're in strategy helpers, which is also included. Struct strategy function. Oh, I'm gonna have to prepend the... because they're inside the monster class, which effectively makes them like a namespace. Okay. I think we're pretty much at that point now. Okay. So we're on to linking. So we finally have compiled, after all that refactoring mess and unrefactoring and whatnot. We got to a point where we actually have our program. Okay, so I'm just gonna run it real quick. I think it's gonna complain about default pack ID. Yeah, so let me grab that real quick. For those that don't know, the pack ID is what encrypts the contents of my game, specifically the commercial assets. So I have to provide it so it will essentially be able to read those files. And if I ever have to restore, do like a git restore from the past, like I did just recently, then we kind of lose that key because it has to restore from a... It restores all unstaged items, which that key stays unstaged, so... Just kind of a little quirk of how it's done. Anyways, that's in there, so now it's gonna load everything. We should be good to actually look at the game. The last thing we had to test for a game was seeing if the Blizzard cast would have worked from this Skeleton Frost Mage, which is currently just using a placeholder sprite. Strategy for Greg does not exist, apparently. That's weird. Why doesn't Greg have a strategy? Did I mess up? Is this just lying? Or is it actually not existent? Let's take a look. Because I wrote this none of function to check through all of monster strategies, which I think should include... Well, it should include NPC, and NPC should have... Oh, there must be something else to this. I think it has to check, like, the name of the NPC on top of this. So strategy name comes from... Wait, so it does use strategy name. Why am I passing NPC name into it? Because that's not what the strategy is called. It's called using the strategy name still. So that was incorrect. And that should fix that. So we just had a false error. Basically a forced runtime error. Okay. So I guess we want to see if this Blizzard cast actually looks the way we expect, right? Damn, your oldest video is 17 years old. Yeah. I've been around the block for a minute. Okay. So I'm just gonna get this thing to walk around me and see if it'll spawn. Actually, I don't think it even moves right now. I think it just tries to cast something eventually. I don't know what I put for the percentage, but I think he'll do it eventually. Like 1 billion minutes. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it did anything. It looks like it didn't actually do anything with the cast, but you can tell it's casting because it changes that little outline animation to that. So it's doing something. Clearly not what I need it to do, though. Okay. Let me look at... Where'd this be? This would be in... Monsters. So let's go there again. I think I moved the file over here, actually. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put you back here. And inside of Frost Mage, we have Blizzard, which is 50 MP, 60%. I don't think the 60% is right. It's supposed to be 60 mana cost, 60% of the time. With a 1.5 second cast time, and the freeze ground is supposed to be 30 mana with a 20% chance of casting, and it takes... Oh, it's instant. Okay. Well, my guess is either it just didn't cast it, or it casted it. I guess we can look at the breakpoint now. Now that we're at a point where the game's running again. I have to readjust my head back to game developer mode. Oh, there's literally nothing in here. Okay, so that's where we left off at. This is where we were before we started all the refactoring shenanigans. We got to the point where, okay, this actually passes in correctly and everything's happy. So, we're at a good point. The next thing we would do is we would actually create that effect. So, it would be add effect. Let's see, and then we would make the effect, make unique. It would be a blizzard. And the blizzard's parameters, we got the position, so we'll just use the cast pause. We have the radius. I think radius, so we have to make a bunch of variables because that's essentially where this information comes from. So that will come from our spec. The blizzard has a 350 radius, so I would put blizzard radius here, which is 350. I need more tabs. I can actually do this. I think I like that. Okay. So then we would call config float blizzard radius. And the whole reason this all started was because this config float used to require the strategy name to be passed on to it. It actually technically shouldn't need that anymore, because what we should be able to do now is derive the strategy name from there and remove it. So that's actually going to be our next step, is we're going to get rid of the strategy parameter, because if we know what the monster is, we know what the strategy parameter is, because we can get the strategy parameter from it. So that's like the next step. What we're going to be doing next is configuring it that way. I at least would like to do that. I think there's still the hiccup of which strategy name parameter it's supposed to use, but we'll figure that out next time. So we are out of time, but I am glad we're at a point where the game compiles again and runs. I'm actually going to comment this out and commit this, because that's actually pretty important to be at a stable build again. And yeah, let's get that. So this is refactored monster strategy calls to not rely on the string name of the strategy. And what else did we do? We did something else. We also... Oh yeah, we cleaned up how strategy calls our strategy files are structured. Yes. And that is release, build. What's our release build? 12526. Okay. Cool. Alright. So yeah, this is a good stopping point for today. Tomorrow we can do more fun stuff and stop worrying about refactoring everything. There is a small refactor I still want to do, but this one will be really easy because now we have all the restructuring done to make it so we can handle that now. Because the beauty of defining or linking the string name to the strategy name is now all these like config functions, they don't need to know the strategy name because the strategy the monster has is tied in there already. So that makes things easier. At least it should make things easier. Why are we stuck? Don't know if we're stuck for a bad reason or we're stuck because it's like a big commit. It's not really a big commit though. That's the thing. It's just like stuck trying to pull the current branch. I almost want to do a manual git run instead. Let me see, git status. Always a good idea. Your branch is, so we're on branch, nothing to commit, working tree clean. I feel like the UI just gave up and froze then. Okay, but we have 2 commits. Git push. Probably the push didn't happen, right? Looks like it's just stuck. Is my server dead? I hope my server isn't dead. Oh, maybe my server's dead. Well, that's no fun. Why is my server dead? Well, this is fine. I'll have to look at this later. I guess it's Linux admin time next time. Alright, well, I'll call it here. For those of you that tuned in, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.